To install a new plugin like the one that we downloaded in the last lesson, we start by going to Site Administration. We look for Plugins and Install Plugins. As you can see here on the top, we have installs plugin from the Moodle plugins directory. We can go there and log in and use the directory and install from there, but we are going to install it manually. The first thing that we need to do is to tell Moodle what type of a plugin we are going to install. And the next step is to drag the file into the box, and then we have to check this box saying that we understand the responsibility of installing a plugin, and then the final step would be install plugin from the zip file. But sometimes we have a problem, and the problem is that we do not know what type of a plugin we are going to be installing. The first thing I do, I choose whatever type, and now I'm getting an error that the plugin type location is not writable. This is because we made the installation folder non-writable for safety, but now we have to make the folder mod writable so that we will be able to install new plugins, because the plugins need to be written into the directory. So the first step is to go back into our server, and from here we go to the folder by typing cd var World Wide Web. That's the place of the folder, HTML, and then under HTML we had Moodle. And inside here we have a folder called MOD. Hard to see from the screen because it's seen in blue. And now we have to change the right permission for that folder. I'm using the up arrow keys to find the last place where I used sudo chmod -r, and here I was writing into the Moodle directory, so I'm just going to remove that, and it's supposed to be 0777, and then the folder MOD, and I press enter, and then it's asking me for the password. Now I go back to Moodle to see if the error has disappeared. I'll choose a different plugin type, and as you can see, now it's saying that the folder is writable. So the next step is to open the folder, and here is the plugin that we downloaded. So I'm just going to drag it into the box. I'm going to check the acknowledgement here and press install plugin from the zip file. Now you can see I'm getting an error, but this error is also telling me something. We have a plugin type mismatch. You have selected the type data preset, but the plugin declares its type as availability. So I'll just press cancel. Now I can go back and look for availability. Unfortunately, the name is not alphabetically because it's the name that you see here inside the brackets. So we'll have to look for availability from there. Availability restriction, I found it here, and now I'm also getting the same error as last time. This folder is not writable. So what we have to do is to go back and make that folder writable, and inside Moodle you see there's a folder called availability, and there's also another folder called condition below that folder. So now we have to go back into the server, and I know that the folder is here, so I'm just using the up arrow keys again, and I'm typing in availability, and if you look at the line, the -r is telling me that all the folders behind availability are also going to have these rights written to them. I only do this for the folders that I need. And most of the time I go back in here after I've installed something and change it back to 755 after I've installed a plugin, just to be sure, because it's a vulnerability letting this be writable. So when you're done, go back in here and do 755 for the same folder again. So now I'm pressing enter, and now I should be able to install into that folder. To see if the X has disappeared, I'm just going to choose the next one below it, and that's another folder, calendar folder, and I'm going back up to the availability folder. The reason why I started by going to the mod folder is because most plugins are installed directly into the mod folder. I think it's necessary I show you all the steps and everything that can happen. So now you can see the plugin location availability is writable. So now I can open the folder again and drag the file into the box and press acknowledgement and install plugin from zip file. Validation passed. And now I press install plugin. And now it's telling me that it needs to upgrade the database. And I'm pressing upgrade Moodle database now. And that's it. We've installed our first plugin.